Where do you live? Seems a simple enough question, really. But the answer is possibly deeper and more complex than you might imagine. Welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. You know, you're always welcome here, wherever you live. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them really get to know him and his word, personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and also share this with a friend. Seems a simple enough question, really. But the answer to the question, where do you live? You know, back when I was traveling some 220 to 250 days a year, if I was asked, where do you live? I often replied by saying, Seat 12D on Delta, or some such thing. It was a joking way of indicating that I spent a great deal of time in a jet flying somewhere. But where you live, where you truly call home, now that says something. When asked this question, you might reply very broadly with only the name of your country. Even that can get complicated and emotion charged when your country has more than one name. Think, for example, of the situation in Israel and Palestine. If your home is resting on a plot of land there, and the country name you identify with is spoken out loud, that says a good deal about you. Your answer to the question might be to identify your state, or even the name of a major nearby city. When I speak of where I grew up, I say Boston. I'm not being deceptive. I'm just giving a reference that might actually hold meaning for the person I speak with. When I was living in a small town in rural North Carolina, I'd indicate how small the community was by saying, yeah, I live in Albemarle, right there next to Frog Pond and Red Cross. And yes, those are all real names of real places, but I'd be surprised if you've heard of any of them. Your answer might focus on a specific neighborhood or a portion of the place where you live. You might say Riverside or Manhattan or Woodvale. It might even be just a general Upper West Side of town. But how does God answer that question? Well, he answers it with the name of a person, not a place. He says, I live in Julie, or I live in Mark. Because while it's true that God is everywhere, he's also in some places more specifically at certain times. I mean, Jesus was just as certainly in the upper room before he walked through the wall as he was after he did so. He's not only everywhere, he's every when. Today's verse says, if anyone acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in them and they in God. So if you have declared your allegiance to Jesus Christ, he lives in you. And if that last statement didn't just take your breath away for a moment, you need to stop, rewind, and listen again. The God who spoke the entire universe into being has decided you are a worthy place to call home. Wow! John goes on to amaze me even more when he writes the last part of the verse. And they live in God. Not only does he want to be at home in you, the Almighty wants you to be at home in him. Wants you to feel welcome, to be comfortable. Hey, today I've got a message from God just for you. He says, make yourself at home. Friends, that's the end of the time we've got today. Before you go, could I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus that they never knew? Help them get to know him and his word personally and better. Please like this video. Really does help more people see it. Then click follow or subscribe so you and I can get together every day. Hit that notification button. Also, if you want to click the link in the description, I'll send you a free copy of my book, Count to One. I'll pop it right into your inbox. And one more thing. Share this video with a friend, would you? Because as you do, well, that makes you part of the team, touching the hearts of people all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thank you for helping.